Good evening, everyone. My name is Laura Schifrin, and I am calling to order the Planning Board meeting of November 18th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Would you all, okay. Roll call, please. Just say your name and that you're
Robert Darian.
Lance McNally.
Pat Gorchik. Andrew Jefferson.
and Laura Schifrin. Would you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to thank all of our veterans and all of those currently serving for our country and all of our emergency support. Thank you. I do not have any additions or deletions to the agenda this evening. The meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to Town of Townsend YouTube channel. And we want to 1.5, we're deferring the minutes to the December 9th meeting. And 1.6, Beth, could you give your administrative report?
All right, so applications and anticipated applications, 1 Depot Street Extension, age restricted development special permit, site plan review special permit, and stormwater management permit. With a request for continuation of the hearing to December 9th, a board meeting at 6:45 roughly. ZBA granted a special permit, and a copy is on the meeting table. It's related to the project, so we did grant it. 18 Main Street, stormwater is complete with no findings, and the draft decision is prepared. That's on the table. 249 Main Street, the planning board granted a special permit at your last meeting, and the decision has been completed and filed with the town clerk. It's in the appeal period right now. 108, 110, 112 West Meadow Road, certificate of completion has been issued and we have proof of recording. 22 Main Street is a planning board agenda item and the application is for a modification of special permit, and the hearing is scheduled for today. 108 Fitchburg Road, we are still waiting on the proof of recording of the operation and maintenance plan for the stormwater management permit. Site visits and compliance, Campbell Farm. I believe the last residential dwelling is still under construction. So where the request for certificate of completion for the stormwater is ongoing. All permits are in compliance with estimate monthly construction inspection reports, except 66 Mayberry Hill, 5 Turnpike, and Three-Wheeler. Three-Wheeler, the stormwater permit expires December 12th, and a friendly reminder to renew this permit was sent to the permit holder a few weeks ago. So we do anticipate that application to come in. Typically it comes in 30 days before the expiration. So we are kind of hoping to see that soon. Miscellaneous, land use department is currently in transition due to 2 vacant staff positions, the land use coordinator and the conservation agent. We appreciate everyone's patience and understanding during this period. The new flood maps in the Natural Rivershed is ongoing. We're working on amending the floodplain district bylaw, and that is under review with the state. The master plan implementation and the HMP MDT implementation are ongoing. The ADU accessory apartment bylaw 14536, we will still need to be drafted and amended to fit the state guidelines if and when they are published. MRPC is waiting to do this with the LTA money. The General Council recommends waiting until spring to draft bylaw changes. State plan people awaiting the planning and board grant for MRPC to create this new bylaw for non-discretionary use. Through the grant, it will also then amend 14242 site plan review special permit and all other references throughout the zoning bylaw to remove and modify where there is misinformation about type of site plan review. MBTA community, submittal for pre-adoption review by EOHLC went in on 10/15. This included bylaw language, district boundary map, PDF and GIS files, and the compliance model. Town council review was requested of the final materials on October 7th, an opinion on whether we should submit for AG review, and we're awaiting response. This will need to go through 2025 annual town meeting through planning board. Adoption of the bylaw is critical. Official zoning map. We have 5 hours. Okay, so we did get that. I'm gonna just condense that. We did get a draft of the proposed official zoning map from MRPC, which is in your folders for tonight. Open space and recreation plan. I believe Carol isn't here, but I believe that has been approved. But I think they're working on the ADA self-evaluation in Appendix F. The EWP corridor study, corridor analysis spearheaded by MRPC to do safety study along 119 from Edward Road past the high school and to Proctor Road. Sherry Bean at MRPC in contact, and the latest update is data collection will begin this following winter. Planning board SharePoint folder is currently updated and available to board members. The Townsend Fitchburg commuter shuttle is still running, and they have an inclusionary zoning draft reviewed and approved by THAT, Townsend Affordable Housing Trust, which has been submitted to the planning board for review just today. Another late development. I will forward it to each of you and add it to the December 9th agenda. Oh, and fall special town meeting. Sorry. We got a fall special town meeting, but we don't have a date.
Right. So, and we have a couple of minutes before the 6:45. So in reference to that, in Beth's report, she said that we would be dealing with bylaw changes for the spring meeting originally, was part of the minutes, but now we have a fall meeting and it will be in January. So I want us to think about the bylaw changes and what we've asked for some verbiage in the bylaw changes in the 55 and over. And just in general, if we can do some tweaks that will make things easier with the ADU bylaw and all of that. Okay, so we're going to work on that as soon as we get the dates where we would have to have a public hearing. Okay. So thank you for that. Adam, we look forward to working with you on that, getting some stuff done.
The recommendation that was referenced concerning waiting until the spring for ADUs, it's really up to the town how you wish to proceed. The challenge that exists is EOHLC has said that it's going to be issuing regulations. Because if you read the legislation that was adopted a couple of months ago, in the legislation, EOHLC was given the authority to promulgate either guidelines or regulations to further expand upon the ADU law, because the ADU law is not terribly complex. It's all a couple of pages, and there are many holes. And so we've been waiting for that guidance. It hasn't been forthcoming. EOHLC gave a webinar the week before last, and they announced in the webinar that they are working on draft regulations, but that they're not expected to issue in draft form until sometime in the late fall or winter. So that's, late fall would be December, winter would be January, February, March. So, and those would only be in draft form, which would then have to go through the formal regulatory adoption process, meaning that we likely wouldn't have final regulations until sometime in the spring.
Okay.
So you're certainly free as a community to adjust your ADU bylaw now if you see fit. Many, I don't say many, some communities have chosen to do so. Other communities we represent, I'd say about anywhere from a third to a half, have decided to make amendments to their existing bylaws, particularly if they have existing bylaws now, understanding that they may need to go back at it and further adjust them depending on what the regulations say. Others have said, we're not going to do this twice, we're just going to wait and see what the regulations say. In the interim, if you've got something on the books, that's fine. If what you've got on the books conflicts with state law, you just have to interpret it in a manner that's consistent with state law, because state law controls in the event of a conflict.
Okay. Thank you for that, because we did have you under work session to update us on the ADU.
Oh, good. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
So there you did. Okay. Everything for a reason. Okay. Okay. We've got a couple minutes. Public hearings I have to do right at the time that we set them. So just to 3.1 with Adam.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Beth had mentioned this to me, and that was that Pepperell basically does their public hearings, correct me if I misspeak, Beth, but they just like sort of set a time where the public hearings start at 7, and they don't have them like 7, 7:30, 7:45, and so that allows the board just to go right through them. And I thought I thought I'd bring that up because that might be a lot more efficient for us to do that. Especially while Adam is here, he can comment, because I don't believe, if Pepperell does it, it's gotta be right.
Can you do everybody's public hearing starting at a certain time?
Well, you
I mean,
can't.
starting at one time and then,
You can't, because the reason is that the law doesn't require you to open a public hearing at the time that it's stated on the agenda. The law says you can't open it any earlier than the time stated.
okay,
Because the public may not be present because they didn't
Right.
receive notice of an opening earlier. So communities tend to do it one of three ways. They either space them, guessing how long each might take. That offers some advantages to a developer or an applicant who might have to show up with their consultant team. If they're on the agenda for 8 o'clock for 7 o'clock meeting because they're third in line, they're not paying their consultant to sit here starting at 7 o'clock. The other extreme is you put everything on for 7 o'clock and everybody shows up, and if the first two continue, you're not sitting here doing this, waiting for the third one to show up at 8 o'clock. The third option, sort of an in-between, is you space them much more closely. You do a 7, a 7:05, and a 7:10. So at least if your first two continue, your 7 and your 7:05, you're not doing this until 8 o'clock, you're only doing this until 7:10. But still, that doesn't offer an applicant a great option. They're still paying their consultant to show up at 7:10. And if those first two matters do proceed and they take 45 minutes each, they're sitting here for an hour and a half until their item is called. So there's no perfect answer to that question, but we have communities that do each of those three ways.
so I'm just thinking about what my experience has been in the last 3 years anyway. Is we seem to have more time between our preliminaries and the first hearing. So that's why I usually go to the work session and get as much as we can get done there. As far as, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think maybe only twice have we gone so far over that we kept the next hearing waiting, until we were ready. So that technically would be the same kind of thing. I've been to, different courthouses, which I'm sure you have too, mostly for business. And you have to be there at an appointed time, and you can be there all day. All day. I don't like that one. I really don't. So I think so far we're good.
Yeah, I just thought I would bring it up.
I think the
Okay.
way we're doing it is pretty efficient.
Okay, and speaking of this, we are at 6:45. I'd like to open the public hearing for 1 Depot Street Extension. Application for age-restricted development, site plan review, special permit, and minor stormwater management permit. We received a letter, I think, but, yeah,
It's attached to that.
we did. Okay. Can I read it? Okay. No, it says to the Honorable Planning Board, Town of Townsend, with respect to our application for age-restricted development, date August 24th, 2024, we would ask for our hearing to be continued to December 9th to allow for a revision to our site plan and for 1 Depot Street extension by Dillis and Roy Civil Engineers. So, do I hear a motion to continue the meeting for the public hearing for 1 Depot Street extension?
I move that we extend the public hearing for the 1 Depot Street extension for December the 8th at 6:45 PM.
9th, December 9th.
December 9th, I'm sorry.
I won't be present at that meeting.
Neither will I. Carol?
Carol should. Okay, but we'll do that, and you guys will just catch up with them, viewing the minutes and signing the paper,
Okay.
okay?
Can I add something, just because I don't know how far along you might be in the process? If you continue it to that meeting and you intend to close and vote at that meeting, the members who aren't present can't vote. You have no ability to sign the Mullen form and vote by way of paper. You have to be present at the voting session. You can sign a Mullen form if you missed the prior meeting.
But not the one of voting, right?
Right, so just to be clear, you've got to have the requisite number of members present to be able to vote. It sounds like you'll have 4, but from the applicant's perspective, they effectively then need a unanimous vote of the 4 that are present, because it's a special permit, it requires 4 or 5, and the others who aren't present can't vote.
You could go to the 23rd if you wanted,
Oh, 23rd.
the December 23rd meeting, if you'd rather. I know that's right near Christmas, but
Not yet.
that's,
I may be able to get virtual on the 9th, if that's okay. Can we
Can we do virtual?
our
Zoom?
meeting on the 23rd,
on the 9th?
on the 9th.
Yeah, can we vote remotely?
You can come in virtually, but I don't recommend having it exclusively
Piece of
virtual.
paper.
No,
No,
I agree.
no.
Right,
I
yeah.
can make that meeting, I just saw that.
On the
The
9th?
9th?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
Then-
dial in if I can.
okay. So seems we've had the motion and a second and discussion. Are we ready to vote?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
and yes.
You have a second? I'm sorry.
I have just an interruption, Chairman, Chairperson. Did we swear him in to be a voting member?
Okay. As the chairman of the planning board, and with Carol House absent this evening, I am appointing Patrick to a voting seat. Did I do that right, Adam?
You did.
I don't mind learning.
No, you did. So the only qualification, this is something that is missed by 9 out of every 10 planning boards I represent, is that the authority of an alternate member to sit as a regular member only exists in certain circumstances. They're not just sworn in as an alternate, as a voting member for all purposes for which the regular member would be present. It's special permit applications. That's
Okay.
effectively it. So if it's site plan review, if it's stormwater permit, if it's
I think that's all we've ever done.
subdivisions, there's no statutory authority for.
I learned from Lance, so I think that was all we ever did, was,
I probably did it.
Well-
I probably made the mistake you said. I used to do it, I think, all the time.
Yeah, a lot do. A lot do.
Very specific.
It only becomes an issue if it gets challenged.
Okay. So you're better to do it when you don't have to do it than not do
yeah,
it.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd be covered if you did it every time, just in case.
Well, right, but the challenge is, let's say that this was a subdivision and you just did it in case. His vote is of no
Oh.
meaning. He doesn't have any authority to be a member
We do that.
for purposes of the subdivision. So let's say that happened and it was a 5 of you and it was a 3-2 vote and he was in favor. That's a denial of the subdivision.
Okay, so, then a question, because I don't want to do that, obviously,
Right.
ever. Is it a short list of items? Is it just 3 items that I would need another sitting member for?
It's
The
just special
alternate?
permits.
Special permit.
Just special permits?
Correct.
Okay, that's all we're doing tonight, right? Okay,
There is a stormwater management permit with 18 lanes, so it's a combined decision. So I would probably, it's not a special permit, it's both. And it's in one decision, so probably shouldn't vote on it.
Well, I mean, I always recommend if there's 2 permits being issued in one decision, that you vote the permits separately. Because they could require different quantums of vote, and in fact, they do. Stormwater permit, I think, is a simple majority.
Yes.
Certainly a special permit is a super majority, so you can consider them together, but then when you close and you vote the special permit, you can vote on that. And then you vote the stormwater permit, and you can't vote on that, but it only requires a majority vote, so it requires 3
We're
or
good.
4.
yeah,
Okay,
okay, we're good.
all right,
Thank
excellent.
you for the explanation. Learn something new every day.
All right, I have nothing else, just so you know.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. And Patrick, I knew you were here. I just forgot I was supposed to do that.
I forgot.
And, I should have made myself a note.
So did you vote on, you did vote on?
We voted, I think we got through Lance, Robert, and Patrick, and that's when, everybody voted yes.
Okay, I just put all of here. All right, continuation is granted.
now, well, I'm a little bit past the 6:46. So, I'd like to open the public hearing, reopen, I should say, the public hearing on 18 Main Harbor Village Mall. A site plan review, special permit, and stormwater management permit.
If I could just interject, the peer review engineer is online,
Okay,
Mr. Walsh.
Mr. Walsh.
Hello, Mr. Wash.
All right, I've opened the hearing, and please, board members, introduce yourselves.
Robert Darian,
Lance McNally.
Heck, Wojcik?
Andrew Shepherd.
Laura. There was a sign-in sheet for those of you that are here. Legal notice does not have to be read. And the applicant has come up. And it's your turn.
Hi, for the record, I'm Alicia Visconti, I'm the Senior Vice President at Key Point Partners, and I'm here with Steve Polacki from RJ O'Connell. So we're back in front of you, or you can tell me where you'd like to start. We reviewed that forward to us the comments that was received on the project, and they all seem positive, so I have no rebuttals to what was in our, from the last meeting, because it looked like from the, citizens of Townsend, they were in support. And if their peer reviews here, we also received a clean and positive stormwater peer review.
Mhm.
I think you should be congratulated. I think it's the first one in our history.
Yeah, well, our
Thank you.
history, for sure, yeah. In fact, the positive comments continue to come in today.
Great.
So there was, they just continued to come in, but that has acknowledged that there were no negatives that have come in, so.
No, I mean, we're really excited. Harbor Village has been a member of the town for a long time. And so hopefully you can see that we generally respect Townsend and the partnership that we have and have had great interactions. So hopefully this is, a good addition to the Townsend world. So we feel it, and obviously fills a need with Vegan Santander, which we're excited to get it over basically.
Yeah. Any other questions from the board? I have the letter, and all of the things that were brought up were addressed by you. Was there anything else you wanted to tell us?
No, I think for the record, Steve Glowacki with RJ O'Connell Associates, we did provide response to the comments as Alicia mentioned. I think the only comments that were really there, I won't say of substance, but were from the Board of Health, understanding that we had to go for approval for a grease trap and also for a food service license. And then there was some clarification about the table and how we arrived at our calculations. So we provided information. We know we're going back before, to the Board of Health for the approval, but otherwise I believe we sufficiently answered everything.
I do have a question. I think many watching, as we know, this is probably the most high profile planning board meeting that's been going on.
It's exciting.
Yes, just out of curiosity, if you're willing to share, what do you anticipate a time frame for doing renovations? Approvals and everything.
So we're mobilizing to start. There's some, planning and construction set that needs to be completed. But we've already been in discussions with your building commissioner, kind of to figure out, can we start certain things beforehand? Our challenge is going to be the winter. The majority of our work is in and around site work. So as you know, we're going to judge a little bit whether we can work through it or start some of the building work and then pause and then finish. But, our goal is I would say a 6-month schedule. It's but we're just going to judge. Hopefully it doesn't snow.
Sure.
Plant stayed open last year, but.
Well, it was 60 today.
you know,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
afraid to say anything because karma, all of a sudden will get that 11 feet, right?
Sure.
But we're excited and ready to go.
okay. Mr. Walsh, did you wanna say anything?
Good evening. Thank you, Madam Chairman. For the record, my name is Jeff Walsh. I'm with Graves Engineering. We reviewed only the stormwater permit portion of the project. I think my letter speaks for itself. I like it when I can send a letter like this out, but again, whereas the area of the site has been previously developed, essentially almost entirely rendered impervious. Any reduction of impervious area is gonna be a benefit, but beyond that, they've added proprietary treatment units, which should make a good positive impact to the drainage system. And I guess I could leave it at that and say my letter pretty much speaks for itself, but I'd be glad to answer any questions if any board members have any questions. Thank you.
Any board members have any questions? No. Okay, so Beth, we have you can sit down if you like now. The draft decision.
You need a copy of it?
Have the board members had a chance to review the draft decision?
Yes.
I'm just trying to look at where, how would we separate this out?
Like, both of them, they both go together.
Yeah, it was prepared together. So, where we have to make two motions now, can we state the motion that, which one can he vote on and not vote on? The stormwater he can't.
Correct.
Okay, so the special permit for the project, we can all vote on.
Right.
Okay. So what would you say would be the best way to put this without having to verbalize everything ourselves here, just to direct you to separate out the decision into two parts?
I can separate them if you want me to revise it. That's pretty easy to do. I just combined it.
Okay.
To.
Can I just take the motion for each?
I think you can. I mean, I'm looking at the suggested motions on the last page. The first motion is really a finding and not so much a motion.
Yeah.
It's a finding that the proposal won't have adverse effects that overbalance beneficial effects. That's the standard for the issuance of a special permit. And then it cites the 5-part test. That finding is presumably already in here, although I hadn't reviewed this decision. But what I would just say is if you look at number 2, you could make 2 motions. And the first time you could refer to the site plan special permit. And the second time you could refer to the stormwater management permit. And you could just state, I move to grant the site plan special permit to Alicia Busconi for the site plan for redevelopment of Harbor Village Mall, Townsend, Mass, based on the findings of fact and to be built according to the plans and reports submitted as conditioned. That's the only thing I would add, as conditioned, because it's subject to these conditions. And that effectively is a vote on the findings.
Okay.
And then you could take that same motion, only replace the words site plan special permit with the words major stormwater management permit. 2 almost identical votes, one's for the special permit, one's for the stormwater permit.
Okay, so 2. Do I hear a motion then to move and grant the site plan special permit?
I would vote on the findings of fact first.
Oh,
Because.
okay, understood. Yeah. Do I have a motion that the board finds the proposal will not have any adverse effects which overbalance its beneficial effects on either the neighborhood or the town, and has determined that the proposed use will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of this bylaw to include, but not be limited to, the following applicable favorable conditions. I'll read the whole thing. A, adequacy of the site in terms of size for the proposed use. B, suitability of the site for the proposed use. C, impact on traffic flow and safety. D, impact on neighborhood visual character, including views and vistas. And E, adequacy of the method of sewage disposal, since no opposition was submitted to the board from the Board of Health.
So moved.
And is there a second?
I second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? No. It was unanimous. And I didn't take your names because we're not on, there's nobody else on Zoom, so we can all just go here. Okay, so we have findings of fact approved.
Actually, you do need a roll call vote. That's the way it's written in the decision, if you don't mind.
Okay, that's all right. I'll take a roll call vote.
Robert Darian. Aye.
Lance McNally, aye.
Peg Longic, yes.
Andrew Shepherd, yes.
Laura Schifrin, yes. Okay, so. Motion to approve the site plan special permit to Alicia Boscani for the site plan for redevelopment of Harbor Village Mall, Townsend, Mass, based on the findings of fact, and to be built according to the plans and reports submitted.
As conditioned.
As conditioned. Thank you, Andrew.
This is for the storm management?
This is for the special permit. As conditioned.
So that is a note, add conditions if the board has any conditions, and I can't speak to the board on that.
I don't.
No conditions, okay. So you don't have to add that into your motion if there are no conditions.
Okay, thank you. I took Adam literally.
I mean, the conditions are on the third page.
Oh, okay, sorry, they are now, there's standard.
Item 7, it might be, the standard is the third condition, so
Yeah.
you can go over.
As conditioned.
Okay.
Okay, and that was the motion, and it was seconded. And is there any further discussion? Seeing here none, I'll take a roll call vote.
Robert Darian, yes.
Lance McNally, yes.
Peg Longic, yes.
Andrew Shepherd, yes.
Laura Schifrin, yes.
And the motion in the second word? Who made the motion?
Andrew, and Robert.
Thank you.
Now, in reference to a motion for major stormwater management permit to Alicia Boscani for the site plan for redevelopment of Harbor Village Mall, Townsend, Mass, based on the findings of fact and to be built according to the plans and reports submitted as conditioned. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the major stormwater management permit.
Seconded.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none,
And
I'll take a roll call vote.
Robert Darian, yes.
Lance McNally, yes.
Andrew Shepherd, yes.
Laura Schifrin, yes.
thank you.
So you have 4 yeses, and that's all we need. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Walsh, as well. And thank you, Adam.
Thank you as well. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Jeffrey.
So now we are at, now we have a couple of minutes. I think that the representatives for 18 Main Street are here.
They're 22. Yes, Chris is.
I'm sorry.
See, you better not leave. We're gonna change everything.
I'm not going again.
Sorry about that. Now, Adam, we have somebody here from 18 Main Street.
Just a reminder, I will be abstaining, but I don't know.
Yes,
do I abstain now if we're talking about it, or do I wait 4 minutes or however long? Do you plan to talk
I
about it?
can't, I can't, because we posted, I can't start it early, right?
Public
Correct.
hearing, you have to start
Yeah.
earlier.
Correct.
Okay, fine. Okay, wait a minute.
We'll finish out the rest of the agenda.
You invited me to a meeting, I think it's really complicated.
But I learn something all the time, so I'm thrilled about it.
You're making it fun. Always fun.
God, Adam's been here a long time.
We're not doing, because you already mentioned the zoning map in your administrative report. It's 1.2.
I can pull that up on the screen if you wanna look at it.
Yeah,
Can I have screen sharing capability, please?
do you recall, I haven't looked at it, does the zoning map show the historic districts now?
This one.
Is that, or is that
Was.
just one?
It's not, so I think it's actually might, I don't know, let me see. what I got.
It should. It's supposed to happen.
Just for a second.
I'm gonna have you do the,
Notice of decision.
yes,
Do you have them in front of you? I know I read them on my computer. It's just Townsend.
I don't have them.
Okay. Pat, maybe I
And I
can use
lost
yours.
a letter that I
Notice of
had.
decisions.
Are there, here's the clerk stuff.
Which one are you looking for?
Beth, is there a package of clerk
So,
stuff
yeah,
for
so-
Andrew,
yeah.
or is there nothing?
No, I think we got.
There's no correspondence.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, was it just the
Unless he
Townsend?
wants to read all those emails on 18 Main
Oh,
Street.
man, I did read them all. But, no, I don't need to read them
He would have been, all right.
Let me pull it up.
all. No, I guess we're
Okay,
okay.
so we,
It's just Townsend.
we don't have to
Let
do
me
that.
screen share. I don't know.
Harley, can you let Beth screen share?
Who would like to be screen shared?
Beth,
The ZBA admin, I believe.
Oops, I forgot to change.
Okay, one moment.
I'm incognito tonight.
Did I say the right name?
You did.
All right.
I just forgot to change.
Okay, ZBA is now empowered to screen share.
Okay, thank you. All right, so kind of hard to see the legend, but that's it. And there is no historic district on there right now that I can see. I don't know whether that's planned to be added at a later date.
well, I thought MRPC was doing that.
They did have it when we were working on the MRPC, on the MBTA maps, so I can ask, I can definitely. ask
Okay, would you check in with them?
Sure.
Because if they've already added it to one of our other maps, they should be able to easily
Yeah,
put it on here.
okay, I don't see it on there.
What were you looking for, historic?
Yeah,
Yeah, historic district.
Who updated this one?
MRPC.
Yeah.
Good grant for that.
Hours.
Does this include the land that was removed from
Yeah.
industrial for the town meeting for the Tossies?
I don't know. Did they update the map removing industrial on Greenville Road?
Good question. Do you see that there?
I don't see anything.
It looks like the same, I don't know when that map's from,
It's dark,
but it looks like the same block. Same shape.
same shape?
It looks like the same shape it's always been.
Good catch
But
then, yeah.
I don't
will make a
actually-
note of that.
Okay,
We need to
thanks.
pull that out. Good point.
Thank you.
And the historic district map. I haven't had, the water department review it yet for the, groundwater protection zones. So that will go on. I mean, staff hasn't reviewed this yet. This is the first look. I think you guys could look at it, but that's great. Okay, industrial. zone. Greenville. And historic district. Anything else?
I don't think on the maps anything else, not at this time. So thank you for that, Beth.
So the, once the overlay district is approved, the MBTA overlay district will also be added. So I mean, hopefully that will all be done. I don't know timing wise if that should be done before springtime meeting. I imagine after it should be revised, something like that. And the district is approved. But that's coming in the future.
Okay. Can you, while you're talking to them, could you, with MRPC, could you find out how much lead time they need to get add-ons?
Okay, see this map?
Yeah, because I know that we still have time or money left on that grant before.
Yeah, we
For the
have so many
mapping.
hours. They turned this around really quickly.
Yeah,
So those are two things that I will ask them about, three things. How to incorporate the MBTA district once it's approved, and adding in the historic district parcels, and changing the industrial zone to
on Greenville.
eliminate Greenville Road.
Okay. Thank you. 4.2, receive from Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission and other agencies. I think that those are in the portal. Or do you have anything in particular?
Which one?
On the 4.2, MRPC and other agencies.
Oh, so there is actually nothing in those.
Okay.
Yeah, we've received nothing, but I did have them on the agenda in case.
Okay. And then 5 is just 5.1 and 5.2, just a resource for board members and where to review.
Okay.
Yeah, and I recommend the citizen planner training fall workshops. We have new ZBA member and he's taking the roles and responsibilities class. Is great. It's great for new members, but it's also great for a refresher because a lot of the laws change, and it's great for open meeting law. And I highly encourage you guys to take that. It's a webinar, and it's paid for you guys.
Do you know when the last time open meeting law was updated?
When the state law was updated?
Yeah.
They adopted the recodified law, I want to say in 2012. And then the regulations followed. So they modified the statute first and then they revised the regulations. I think it was probably within 9 months to a year following the recodification. The law hasn't been changed since then. They made some revisions over the years.
Yeah.
For example, in the regulations, they addressed remote participation, which of course was years before COVID. So they addressed it not in this context, but in the context of you were having a meeting and you had one member of the meeting who couldn't participate and wanted to participate remotely by telephone or through video feed. They addressed that in the regulations. All of the changes to accommodate the COVID-19 issues with hybrid meetings, remote only meetings, those have all been done through governor's orders and then special legislation extending the deadlines. None of those have become permanent.
Oh.
So in fact, the hybrid meeting allowance only runs through March of next year. March 31st it expires. So as we stand here today, effective April 1st, you can't have hybrid meetings anymore. You can't have remote only meetings. Everybody thinks that they're going to extend it further or make a more permanent change to the law. They've been talking about
It
it for
makes no
years.
sense though.
Right,
Yeah.
but instead of making a more permanent change, they just extended and extended and extended every time they do it for a year, 18 months, 2 years.
Okay, right now it's April of 25.
Yeah, March 31st is the expiration.
I think they're gonna have to do that because people have emergencies. It just makes more sense. And even people for attending, it's easier on Zoom.
Beth, do we just let you know if we want to take one of these courses? Because it says the registration is required, it's $35. Do we just let you know if we want to take one of these courses?
Yeah, go ahead and register and then bring me your receipt.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get reimbursed.
Okay.
That's for any board member.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are at 7:15. And I'm going to open the continuance of 22 Main Street, public hearing. Modification to site plan review, special permit. Board members, introduce yourselves, please. Robert?
Robert Darian.
Lance McCallan.
Mike Quantrick?
Andrew Shepherd, I'll be abstaining.
Okay. And so he has to leave.
Recusing yourself, right?
Yeah,
State ethics told me that I should notice the.
yeah.
I just wanted to clear, because abstaining means
Yeah.
you're participating, but you're not voting.
I am
Yeah,
recusing
yeah,
myself.
he's accusing himself.
So I'll be back. If somebody else.
Okay, thank you.
And then a special permit, so.
And there's different. So there are 4 members here. And you are,
Chris Anderson with Handy Engineering.
okay, welcome.
So, sorry, where's my signature? Just again, for Chris Anderson, Handy Engineering, here to have Sally Thurber, for the modification of the site plan approval and special permit. We're before the board, a meeting ago. At that point, we received department comments, and other miscellaneous, comments from the board and the town. We did review those comments and responded in kind with a written narrative. Just a few things that were changed as part of the site plan. One of the comments from the land use coordinator was the inclusion of a sidewalk to provide a direct pedestrian access from the parking spaces to the actual structure itself. So we have included a 4-foot bituminous sidewalk that will extend along the side of the parking lot and also tie into the pedestrian walkways that are kind of extending all the way up to the front of the property. One of the other comments was relative to the stormwater, seeing if there was a way to modify the infiltration basin that's located in the back portion of the property. Unfortunately, when we took a deeper look into the actual setback requirements of everything, it's not truly possible to try to shift it further away or further north, if you will, the plan to get a little bit more additional woodland area down in the bottom portion of the site. It's primarily because the septic system, unfortunately, is located right in the nook of the parking lot area. To provide compliance with Title V and stormwater management, we have to maintain certain setbacks, specifically 50 feet from the septic field itself from an infiltration BMP. So that's written into stormwater management. So unfortunately, we can't shift the basin any further north, nor put any kind of additional infrastructure around the actual parking lot itself, besides what we're showing now. So the stormwater system has remained effectively unchanged since the original submittal. The water kind of sheet flows down, hits a riprap strip, or crushed stone apron, right along the lower edge of the parking lot, so that as the water hits it, it slows down prior to reaching the infiltration basin. The infiltration basin is also designed to accommodate the stormwater flows without any discharge up to the 100-year storm event. So it's sized effectively to its maximum or the minimum size, if you will, based on the calculated flows. So the only true way you can actually gain any additional area would be to kind of shift and shimmy and rotate. But at the end of the day, you're compensating for, 100 square feet of woodland over here, but you're taking it away over there. So it's kind of a catch-22, if you will, unfortunately. We did look into additional mitigation features. In further review, we found that there was quite a bit of extra tree clearing occurring around the basin. So we were able to effectively suck that in and get it closer to the basin while still being able to maintain the proper offsets to build it appropriately. So we did gain a little bit of extra woodland around the perimeter. As you can see in the plan here, we effectively wrapped the tree line around. Originally, it was kind of squared off. So we gained a little bit of the woodland back in that area as well. With that being said, those were the general changes that we made since the previous meeting. If there's any comments from the board, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Or
I'm good.
Robert?
It looks a lot better than before.
I can comment on this one, right? I have no comments.
But this is stormwater.
Yeah, it's stormwater, right?
The application for a special permit, I think. That's how it's on the agenda.
Can you enlarge the view, please?
It's listed on the agenda as a site plan special permit. There's no reference to stormwater in the agenda. I don't know what the application was for because I didn't review it.
This one's a modification for the site plan review. Modification for site plan review,
Oh.
special permit that has been extended.
You move it further towards the street, please.
Here, Robert, is this better? Robert? Is this better for you?
Yeah, thank you.
Is this bond removed? Or not?
There was no stormwater management application.
Thank you.
This is just site plan, but it's all about stormwater.
There's a report generated.
Yeah.
That was at the
Okay,
discretion of the choice of the applicant.
okay. Not needed, okay.
Good engineering practice. I should also note, just in our narrative also, we just responded in kind to a couple additional comments that the departments had, but the only true comments were from the building commissioner, and they were pretty much statements of fact, so we just kind of responded in kind.
Okay. Is there anyone on Zoom that would like to make any comments?
I just have a question. Why is the width of the driveway so large?
The 30 foot is a requirement of DOT.
Oh, okay.
So for any commercial application, automatic 30 feet, and I think it's like 20 foot radii, or 15 foot radii, sorry.
Very good. Okay. I like it.
All right. And the draft decision is not ready yet, but we can vote. Okay.
No, I'm good.
What's that? So we'll vote to the other one?
Yeah, for a special permit.
Oh, that's fine.
So in reference to 22 Main Street, modification of, well, going back to the, all right. So I would entertain a motion to approve the modification of the site plan review special permit to Sally Thurber for the site plan entitled Site Plan Development Plan Driveway and Parking Lot, I don't know where it says lot, oh, parking lot, 22 Main Street in Townsend, Mass, October 1st, 2024, revisions through November 13th, 2024, prepared by Hannigan Engineering, Inc., based on the findings of fact, and to be built according to the plans and reports submitted, with conditions A, B, C. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
That was Lance and Robert. Any further discussion? And take a roll call vote.
Robert Theron, yes.
Lance McNally, yes.
Pat Gorchak, yes.
Laura Schiffern, yes. You have all that? We're good.
Great, thank you very much.
Congratulations. I'll get, oh, we have to get left on. I have no other business to come before us this evening, but adjournment. Does anyone else?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 7:26 PM.
Second.
And there's a second. Everyone in favor? We don't need roll call.
Aye.
Aye.